Hello, hello. Welcome to our spiritual chats. And today I'm excited to be talking to Jenny and Jay Holla. And we're going to be talking about, is your view of wellness killing your healthy living goals? And I'm excited about talking about this because I'm very much into health and wellness and how it affects us physically, mentally, emotionally, because it definitely does. So welcome, guys. I'm excited that you're both here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Share a little bit about yourselves. What are you doing, and what do you think about wellness? Like, where do you go with it?
That's such a big question,
I
but
know.
so I'll start. I'm Jenny. QU.
You said you would start.
I know, but and I was trying to.
So I
You're
figured you would
Jay.
start and you would go.
So I'm Jenny. That's Jay. We're part of 2J Holla, and we are a wellness lifestyle adventure brand, and we help people to really find that amazingness of their life on their terms. Okay, so that's pretty broad, right? So you're like, how does wellness? So I'll kind of give my side. For me, wellness is about connecting to yourself, experiencing life on all levels, and feeling it mentally, emotionally, physically, where you're feeling your best. And I mean, we just hung up with a client, and she literally is transformed in just like 30 days with her energy, and she is on fire, right? Like, so she's just embracing who she is. And oh, by the way, she's losing weight. So it's like not about the weight loss. It's about just like finding what lights you up, that makes you shine the brightest, to help you embrace and become even more unfuckwithable. Now you can give yours.
No, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Like you summed it up. Like, I mean, if I was to start, I would probably say the same exact thing.
Heck yeah. Look at that.
Well, you know what? I have, first off, it's so important to understand that like wellness is more than just losing weight, because when we're told to diet, I don't know about anybody else, but when I've tried to diet, it just doesn't work for me. I give up. I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. When I've changed my whole lifestyle, that's when things change. So do you guys have like a personal story or something that changed you to get on this, like this wellness journey?
Yeah, personal story, and I'll tie a little bit of yours into, because I feel when you deal with coaches, gurus, Jedi masters, experts in this particular field, you have the person coming from that particular area, right? One of the amazing and awesome things that make what we do so awesome and unique to us is you get both of us. Like my background is wellness. I've been doing health and fitness stuff since I was 15. So, that's years of seeing fads, trends, the comes, the goes, and being in the industry, seeing what's in front of the curtain, and then, the smoke and mirrors that goes on behind the curtain, if you will. A lot of people don't understand and realize, or maybe they do, that the health and wellness industry is $1 trillion business.
Yeah.
If you just think about it, like the gyms, they're not going to call you if you don't show up. But the moment your credit card is declined, who are you getting a call from? So you're basically donating to the gym infrastructure. And I say infrastructure because gyms were created for a specific reason. It was for bodybuilders back in the 80s. If we think about all of our smart wearable technology, how many of us have an Apple Watch, a Samsung Gear, a Fitbit Charge? Insert your favorite wearable here, that tells you this month, push your move goal to like 2 times, and these little challenges that are good in a sense, but because it's supposed to motivate you and push you, but it's kind of teeters the line of being healthy and unhealthy to a degree, because all that plays into your mindset. But back to your original question. I'm sorry I rambled a little bit. Like I said, my background is fitness. I started working out when I was 15. It became my refuge. It became my safe haven. It became the place where I got therapeutic release, because I was bullied a lot as a younger kid because of my visual impairment. But you're not going to get bullied too much if you're like 10% body fat and you look bigger than most of the football players. You're like, so that was a whole game changer for me, right? And I just fell in love with how this was a therapeutic type of thing. And it became less of how I looked and more of like the confidence it gave me, how I felt, how my mood changed, how certain things that I used to feel limited before, it was like, fuck it, let me go all in, you know? And a little bit of Jen's background coming from that corporate plantation, if you will, and going, and knowing burnout, knowing how burnout looks, feels, and the result of it. But when you're, you know, striving for that first place in the corporate rat race, you know, it's just like, okay, I gotta go. Let me put all this to the side because I gotta go. I gotta be successful. I have to do, you know, all these things. And it takes a toll on you physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it's a lot of people feel that, oh, if I work out or if I diet, it's going to fix everything. And there's a lot of little pieces that goes into being healthy and having a wellness lifestyle.
Well, I definitely have to comment on that because you know, people are always like, you got to lose weight, you got to do this, you got to do that. But like you said, they're not taking into account your mindset. You're not taking into account what, I mean, listen, we can all start walking and doing all this stuff. But if you're shoveling in McDonald's and Wendy's and this other processed crap, you know, I was queen of let me come home and call somebody to deliver food. I was queen. Mm-hmm. And I had like, there were things, then I got this diagnosis and I went, my whole life changed in a blink of, this is what you have. And I went, oh, you know, out went the crap. But I want you to focus a lot more on, it goes beyond getting rid of that crap in your house, you know, and that could be a whole conversation in and of itself, but it's that mindset. And you know what? I got to tell you, during COVID, I picked up 20 on COVID. And then it was like, I wanted to start to feel better. Like for me, I'm 5'2". So 20 pounds is
it's a lot.
A lot.
Actually, 20 pounds is a lot for anybody. Actually,
it is.
It is right.
when you're short, it definitely affects you more. So I started to feel like, oh my, all right. But I could have a thing at the gym. I know for myself, I won't do it. Like for me, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to start at home doing what I like to do. And I would love for you to address all that, as well as recently somebody had said to me, I would love your point of view on this. They're like, you have to do weights, this, that, the other. And I'm like, I really like yoga and I really like walking and like, I'll bring weights in here and there, but they're like, you're not going to do anything if you don't do weights. And I'm like, and I don't know if that's true or not. So I would love for you to add in on that too.
I mean, the awesome thing about the fitness industry is, you know what I'm saying, there's no direct road to get to your destination. I think that's the one of the magnificent things about a journey, period. Like, you know, you can take a plane, you can take a bus, you can take a train, you can take a boat, you know, to get to your destination. It doesn't have to be this way or the highway. One of the things when I work with people, especially in this area, is yes, the some of the science may say, or some of the higher ups, the experts may say, you have to do this. But my thing is, if you're doing something that you don't like, how long are you going to stick with it? Like, I'm not a runner. I hate running. Both my parents have bad knees. So if I were to run, you know, I feel that I'm going to speed up my knees failing earlier, sooner than later. And just the constant pounding, if you want to break down the science, everything, it's not good on your joints anyway. So there's a lot of reasons I don't like running, mainly the running aspect. So if I went to a trainer, if I was paying someone saying, I want to get healthier, right? And the first thing this person or individual said, all right, we're going to warm up with 15 minutes on the treadmill. That trainer's fired. That trainer is fucking fired, because I'm going to find reasons to cancel. I'm going to find reasons not to do it. I'm going to find reasons to come in late so I don't have to do the 15 minutes on the treadmill. And all this is psychological.
Or even if you're an A-type like me, and I'm like, I already paid, I would do it. But then what would happen after my sessions were over? I would probably gain that weight back, because that's not something I want to continue doing.
So yeah, and all the psychological aspects that go into this. So weights are important because it's resistance training. So if you could find another way to do resistance training, a lot of people don't know and believe body weight is one of the best forms of resistance training. Doing some yoga takes a lot of strength. Balancing, holding those positions, the consistent sun salutations, that shit is crazy in a good way. I mean, you're definitely strengthening your arms, your core, all that is working. So,
especially in the more advanced poses.
Yeah, I haven't even got there. Yeah. My yoga is intermediate, but you got to find that thing you enjoy doing, because it becomes less likely you will stop. You know, you will get on that roller coaster of going up and down, because it's no longer, I'm doing this because I need to drop the COVID-20, right? It's like, I'm doing this because it makes me feel fucking amazing after I'm done. And not just amazing, like endorphins pumping or whatever, but like, I've started doing yoga every night for at least 20 minutes before I go to sleep, because it just puts me in a mental zone of relaxation, of dumping everything else that's happened today and just focusing on me, which relaxes me, which cuts down on the anxiety and stress and all that other stuff. So, that's a whole different fitness conversation. But, you know, I feel if you love going to the gym, if you love picking up things and putting them down, yes, weights are fucking great. You know, if you love running, if you love all that stuff, you love cardio stuff, that's also, do it. But the important thing is finding that thing that you love, and also understanding, depending on what that thing is, it's going to affect your body differently. Like if you feel you have 20 pounds to lose and you don't like lifting weights, it'll probably take you a little longer to lose that weight, or you're going to have to focus more on your nutrition and what you're intaking to figure out the balance. But if at the end of the day is, I want to be the healthiest me I can be as a lifestyle, the key thing is finding that thing that's going to keep you going when you feel like shit, when it's cold outside, when everything, the cards are stacked against you in every way, that you're going to say, you know what? I don't care what's going on, because after I do this, it's going to change my entire mood.
Yeah. First off, I hate running too. And I say to people, if you see me running, just run after me. Because, and I tried it. People were like, it's great, do it. Yeah. I did it like 5 years ago. I did try the running, and I was like, God bless all of you people who love to run, because it's not my thing. And
that running high people talk about, I need another drug, because I don't get it.
Yeah, people love it. God bless them. More power to you. But you're right, because if you don't like doing something, you're not going to do it. And I've had, people get me involved in these challenges that I start, and it's, burpees and this and that. And I'm like, oh God, please. And I do like a couple of days, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm done. Let's do yoga. Let's walk. Let's do something else. Like for me, that works. And I love that you said at the end of the night, you do yoga, because I find when my anxiety levels get high, I will sit on the floor and start doing poses, because it opens me up. It actually starts to relax. I start to release that energy, and it's so important to view wellness as a lifestyle change, exactly like you said, because if you're going to see, oh, I want to drop 5 pounds for I don't know, a wedding or for something, it's as soon as that's over, it's going right back on and you're going to complain about why you've got your 5 pounds on.
Mhm.
So like for me, when I had this big life-changing thing, it was like, oh boy, we need to change everything. And it's also, and I would love for you guys to talk about it, is that mindset piece about it as well.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I thought of the first thing when you said that is when our clients come into our program or we start working with them, because of culture, because of the industry, because of everything that they've tried before, whether it be, like you said, a challenge or personal trainer or the gym or a 30, 60, 90-day program or some kind of eating plan. And while all of those are good and can give results, it still comes down to what's sustainable, what's going to work in your lifestyle. So there's like that, but then also there's the experimentation, right? So let's say like the traditional way of doing things, when someone comes into the program, they're usually like, wait, what? Or like, why aren't you having me do a meal plan? Why aren't you having me do these things? And especially since we work with a lot of A-type people, they're ready to do the 10 things right now and implement it into their life. And so usually like one of the things we would start with, and this is a perfect thing that you can do right now, is a 5-minute habit. So what's something that you've been wanting to work on that you can commit to for 5 minutes every day? And if you're not willing to commit to, let's say you go, all right, well, let's just keep it simple, right? Like I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes every day. If that feels too much, how does 4 minutes feel, or 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute? Like go to like the lowest, easiest thing that you can commit to for now. And then start just working on that. Don't do that plus try a new workout plan, plus try to change your mind, plus try to eat all the foods, plus try to eliminate the chocolate. Like that's too much. And that's usually why people fail. So the mindset aspect that we teach is like those small habits that integrate, that help you to feel even more empowered, that help you to really just feel like you're in control, because you're making the choice. You're empowered to make that choice for you. And therefore it lasts longer. You rewire your brain, you rewire the way you look at things, and it's celebrating those small successes along the way. We always talk about being 1% better, so if you're focusing on just being 1% better, you don't have to go 0 to 100 every single day of your existence, because that's exhausting. And I'm going to add one thing that I thought about earlier that I think fits in right here is, for most people, and I'm speaking to myself, and I think Jay even falls in this a little bit as well. I feel like, from like high school-ish, probably like 18, 16, in your 20s, for a lot of people, it's about, I want to look good. I got to have the 6-pack abs. I got to be skinny. I have to my butt has to be all lifted. Like it's a lot of focus on like the body and how I look and how people perceive me. And, it's a different process, because even the things I was very attracted to out of college to do were like the hardcore fitness programs, insanity, like doing all the crazy stuff. I thrived on that. But then as I got into my 30s, lifestyle change, interest changed, demands, like everything shifted. So in my 30s, it's more about, what do I actually enjoy to do? Mm-hmm. So as we age, or as different things come in our life, sometimes we have to realize that some things are different. So the things that maybe worked for you at a different time in your life may not work now, because they just don't align, right? Like I know I could jump in insanity and lose massive amount of weight, but do I really want to do insanity from now until forever, so to speak, or that level? Is that something I'm interested in doing? And my answer was no. So I think that, realizing whatever age and stage in life you are, you may have kids, you may be climbing, trying to build your business. You may have, there's so many different phases that we have to ebb and flow with that, and realize that it doesn't have to be one way. Like Jay said before, like that journey, like you're allowed to change. You're allowed to do different things based on, what your goals are and where you're at in life.
And I really do like that. I like that the path, the plane, the train, the plane, the train, walking, biking, running. There's you can get to the same destination many different ways. And people don't realize that. And I think they put so much pressure on themselves that they stop. Yeah. And then it's like, people expect to take, and this is I've definitely done this. here's my magic pill. I did my exercising for a day. I don't notice a damn bit of difference.
Yeah.
And I would laugh at myself, and people expect it. They expect like to lose or to see a difference in just one day. And it's constantly consistency. And I don't care what it is, it's consistency. It's the same thing with the 1 minute to the 5 minutes. I mean, you could do that in the morning, afternoon, at night. You can find 5 minutes for yourself if you choose to. So like, these are really good things you guys have brought up, because you could just as easily go back to the couch and be happy in your comfort zone and complain about it, versus actually getting up and engaging and wanting to do something different.
And think about too how we're conditioned as a society. We're in the society, this instant society. You know what I'm saying? You want warm food, put it in the microwave. You want to connect with somebody, send them a text message. You know what I'm saying? They can respond instantly. So everything is quick, right? And this is one of those things where it's not going to happen quickly, because if you think about everything that happened for you to gain the weight, because people were like, oh, I ate a Twinkie yesterday and I gained 30 pounds. Where the hell did this came from? It's like, no, that's not how the shit happened. You, over a consistent time, made choices and decisions that did not move you toward being the healthier you, but moved you in the opposite direction. So now it's switching those habits and understanding that the process is the same. It just looks different because you weren't paying attention to it, because it was you were just on autopilot. Oh, let me grab a package of Reese's as I go through like the cashier line at your local grocery store because they're here and I love Reese's. But if you go to the grocery store 3 times a week and you do that 3 times a week,
and you conveniently forget, I only did it once.
Right. All this happens. So now it's switching and reframing, rewiring that brain and those habits to say, okay, I have to be active. I'm not even going to use exercise. I have to be active. I have to make food choices that are going to nurture the individual I'm becoming. And over a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 9 weeks, 3 months, you start to see those changes. But we're just like, oh my God, what happened? Where did all this weight come from? Oh, you know where it came from.
Sitting on the couch watching TV,
Exactly.
Being in lockdown. Although, and it's interesting that you're talking about nurturing yourself, and we can do it in so many different ways. And one of my challenges happened when I found out that my husband had celiac and I had gluten sensitivity and no dairy. And I'm like, all right, this is a real lot to handle. So it was a process of learning how to completely recook. And now, because I used to be like not one who liked to cook, I love it because of the ability to create bring in new spices, bring in new. If this did not happen, there are foods I would have never, ever tried. There are things I would have never, ever tried because I am in my little box and I was happy with it, but now I've got like, I eat a lot of, spaghetti squash, acorn squash, butternut, I tried something and I never even heard of it. It was some kind of fruits and vegetables. And I was like, this is such an addition to me and my healthy lifestyle. So, I hope nobody gets sick that this is what happens. You have to do this, but it's about choosing to be healthier. I mean, what has to happen for us to say, I want to be well inside and out?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I'm just thinking is, what Tony Robbins and a lot of other people have talked about, right? Like you're either running towards a goal or running away from something or towards something, right? It's like, what's pulling you? Are you being pulled? Are you being pushed? Or like, what's the motivation, right? And I think sometimes we're just not ready. We may think we are, but we're really not ready. And so one thing that we really focus on is a raw mindset, which is, are you ready, able, and willing? So there's 3 aspects. You might think you're ready, but are you able? Like, is your, environment set up to support you? Are you willing to make the changes? Are you willing to make the small shifts? Are you willing to do the things? Right? So, I mean, once you have those 3 in line, then you can start committing. But also, as we've been talking about with us, we're not giving you a hardcore plan. And sometimes when something's simple, it's also very easy not to do because our minds think we already know everything.
Yeah.
Right. So it's also that beginner's mindset to come in with an open mind and be ready, able, and willing to work on these. But we want you to feel the wins. We want you to feel the wins and momentum. And for us, like when our clients say like, oh, wow, I'm so used to doing things fast. And, you know, I'm glad that I'm taking this slower. This seems like it's actually going to work. Right. It's like, that's when the things start clicking and they're committing to doing the small things that are going to lead to massive results in their life.
I think another thing too is you said motivation, and I try to not use the word motivation because it's become a word people just throw around. I don't feel motivated, you know. I don't, and action comes before motivation. It's like, well, if you're looking for motivation, get up and do something, you know, because that's when the motivation comes. It comes when, you know, you were out of breath walking up the stairs, and then you're able to take the stairs 2 at a time. You know, that's when the motivation comes. It's not like, oh, COVID, don't feel motivated. Because if that's the way that we think, we wouldn't get anywhere. And for me, talking to people, it's like, what is that underlining drive? You know, not the superficial one. I want to lose weight. Who doesn't? Let's be honest. Who doesn't? Like, what's the thing under there though? Why do you want to lose weight? So I can look better. Once again, we're still at the top of things and just digging down. Like, why do you want to look better? Why do you want to be that example for your children? Why, you know, why? And, you know, losing weight is up here. And then if you dig, you come to find out that you want to be a shining example for your child to grow up and be the healthiest individual they can be, and showing them it's definitely possible, you know, to not sit in front of a TV and binge, or go outside and do family stuff, because that ultimately brings your family closer together, and you guys are spending quality time in building these moments that will be cherished and remembered forever. And that becomes the biggest thing. So when you're not feeling motivated, you key into that, you know, you tune into that feeling, that emotion, that frequency, and you say, this is why. You know what I'm saying? I'm not motivated, but if I do it, this is what will happen. And then by a byproduct, the weight is going to come off. Because if you do the things, you don't have to focus on losing weight. Because if you're focused on just being healthier all over and making those choices and decisions that are going to move you toward those goals, you're going to wake up and be like, holy shit, I lost 20 pounds. Where did the weight go?
Yeah. I mean, I like how you bring the why, because we all want to lose weight. We all want to look good, but the why, keep digging down. And I mean, I hate to say this, but the United States is one of the fattest countries around. We really are.
Yes.
And I've seen how it affects people. So like for me, my biggest why is I want to be 90 and be that lady who's still running around, looking good and living her life fully. Like, I don't want to be one of those with my cane and my walker and exactly. Just how are you living your life? Like, that's like, so when I feel unmotivated, there are definitely days that I'm like, oh, hell no. And I'm like,
a picture of a granny with a walker on the fridge. You're like, oh, okay.
Exactly. But your why becomes your motivating factor. You're like, for me, it's wanting to live life fully. It's wanting to be able to go and run and, you know, do it. Like, I didn't exercise today, but we shoveled a foot of snow, so I'm good.
Check mark.
It was so funny. I was like, and when my husband and I were done, I'm like, yeah, I'm done for the day.
But it's even with that, like reframing and rewiring, like saying, oh, I didn't work out or exercise today, but what did you?
I did.
So yeah, saying yes, this,
and owning it.
this,
Yeah.
that's the box. That
I've
is the
checked my
box.
box, right? But like I'll catch myself in the mornings going, I don't really want to exercise, and I'll start making excuses. Like for me, I do, like, but then I say, why are you doing this? So I would, if you guys could, how do you combat people who are saying, I try to make excuses, you know?
I think what we do is really help them to identify, it's going back into the why, but help them to identify like what is it they love to do. Or we have 4 quadrants that we help our clients with, and one of them is the self-awareness. So that's a lot of the mindset stuff, right? Like you're just tuning in and paying attention when things kind of come up, or like being a detective, like why did this happen, what's this about, without judgment, right? And another one of the quadrants is about adventure and really like living your life full out. So that adventure for you and your family could be hiking with your kids, or it could be being able to ride a bike 30 miles without getting winded, or, there's something that like excites you. And so when those moments come up, it's us working together, or even if you're working on your own and just being like, well, what do I like to do? So you could have a list of things that you could go to and maybe even tune in intuitively. What am I feeling today? Right? Am I feeling yoga? Am I feeling body weight? Am I feeling shoveling snow? Am I feeling, like, what is it that I could do today that I'll still be like, I'll be happy about, I'll be excited to do. So like he said, it's that shifting of the mindset from it being like a chore or this thing you have to do, to going into your heart and saying, like, what would be fun today? Maybe it's dancing around the house and getting a sweat on, maybe it's walking with your friends. Maybe it's going to a park. I mean, there's so many different things that we can do, but I think reframing what the culture teaches us, or what we see all around us, that a workout has to be. One of the biggest shifts that Jay has helped me make is, does this count? That was a common question. Does this really count? Because I was used to working out, having been an athlete and doing that all through college and high school. I was used to laying in a puddle of sweat on the floor. So I didn't know that a dance around or shoveling snow actually counted. And with what we teach and what we believe, those things do count. The only time that you would maybe be in some kind of a structured, regimented program is if maybe you're a bodybuilder, or you're doing like a fitness competition, or you're doing something so specific. But that's not the type of people we work with, right? So in our world, it's just like tapping into what lights you up and being open to exploring. Like you said, you tried running, don't like it. Maybe you'll try African dance one time and you'll dance around. My friends own Kukawa Fitness, and it's Africa dance. It's online. You can dance and get a sweat on, so maybe you try that. Does that vibe with me?
I think too, is like just with the excuses is still being a detective, like asking yourself, like, depending on the excuse, like, I don't want to work out today because it's dark outside and whatever. And it's like going back to that underlining drive once again and saying, is this moving me towards or away? And then like some days it's making that executive decision. Like if I miss a day, it's not going to be the end of the world. But 2, like consistency is key. If you start making excuses consistently, then you're not going to get results. But I think kind of like dialing in, because a lot of people feel like they have to be on 10 all the time. You know what I'm saying? To get results, I got to be on 10. I got to do this. I got to be dialed in. But like viewing your dial kind of like a thermostat, depending on the day. Like she said, wake up this morning. How am I feeling? I'm feeling a 10 today. All right. I'm going to do everything like that a 10 would do. And then other days you could have had a bad night. You could be tired. The energy could be blocked somewhere and you're just feeling meh. And it's like, okay, definitely not a 10 today. So I'm more of a 2 or 3 and I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to walk around. I'm going to go get some fresh air and understand that, like, being kind and gentle with yourself, and you're still doing something that's moving you towards that healthier you.
I actually love that because I don't think anybody takes that into account. I don't think they get up and say, it's like, I got to go, go, go. And then they flatline and they're like, I'm done with this because I'm exhausted. So instead of honoring that, I'd rather just walk around the block 3 times today instead of doing my regiment or, and it's interesting because you talk about the dance. One of the things I'd love to try is either salsa dancing or belly dancing. So, I'm going to see, I don't think you can do salsa dancing, but I may try, see if I can find something online to do something different to see if I like it. Like, one of the things I tried and everybody made fun of me is like, I tried pole dancing. Listen, yeah. I tried it once, never do it again, got dizzy as hell. I was like, oh my God bless the women who really, like, there were some really, I was watching them with their routines and the teachers trying to, I was like, holy crap. So that was like a running thing.
My sister used to teach those classes, and you have to be very athletic to do those things.
Yeah. Yes. But I think it's the willingness to try. And I think that you guys have offered a lot of great insights to really, looking in the view of wellness and the stuff that we do to stop ourselves, and there's ways around it. There's definitely is. And I believe in everything that we do, our mindset is always either going to help us towards it or it's going to help us just kind of be like, I'm done. So I think it's definitely something that we can work on every single day. So it is about that time, guys. So I would love for you to leave a tip if you have a last tip and tell everybody where they can reach you at.
One last tip. There's so many good ones. What do you want to share?
After you.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to do the first one. I'm giving my mind to think about that last tip. So I'll share, okay, if this was vibing with you and you're like, you know what, like, I like their energy. I like what they stand for. I'm ready, able, and willing. I have that raw mindset. We do wellness breakthrough calls, and we normally charge $97 for them. But if you're listening to this, recording this live, you're listening wherever you found this, make sure that if you want to do one of those calls with us, where basically we go through a series of things, help you have that breakthrough, and give you a plan of action, then shoot us a message on Instagram or Facebook. So on Instagram, we're at @2_J Holla, the letter J, HOLLA.
The number 2.
The number 2. Backwards. The number 2_ letter J, HOLLA. Or on Facebook, we're the same thing, 2J Holla without the underscore. And just let us know where you found it, and then we'll make sure we give you the code to comp that. And then the last tip. Okay, I'm going to give a hybrid tip. If you are an A-type person, the biggest thing I want you to remember is to be gentle with yourself and tune into your body when you start to feel that overwhelm, the anxiousness, or anything that isn't serving you if you're trying to get results on a wellness journey, because that's a sign to like slow down and take some of the things we've talked about, like the 5-minute habit or the 1% better, like to take some of those things and find a way to get your easy wins, and especially if you're an empath, right? Like really tune in, because pay attention to how you feel when you're like vibing with this stuff and how you feel when you're not vibing with this stuff, and pay attention to that and where the energies are. You could probably even speak to this even better than me since you work with empaths. It's like, I would say, pay attention to where the energies are, what the differences are. And if there's certain energies you really like, find ways to amplify that, and make it even bigger and better. So you can be in those moments of bliss and euphoria, because why not? We're all entitled to bliss and euphoria at any moment of life, any time of the day, right? And really just tune in to what that is.
Yeah. And for me, I believe all empaths should have some type of exercise daily in their lives, whatever that is, to keep that energy flowing, and whatever's stuck in your body to open it up and allow it to flow, because that's real important. All right, guys, this has been a pleasure. I am so grateful that you were stopped by. Thank you so much. And as always, guys, take what resonates with you, tweak it to make it your own. And I think we had a lot of great ahas in here. And I really do believe judgment, let it go. Don't judge yourself, and allow yourself to be consistent with whatever practice you do. Thank you guys for joining us.